new honorees will be inducted into the Television Academy Hall of Fame. They are Johnny Carson, Jacques Cousteau, Leonard Goldenson, Jim Henson, Bob Hope, Ernie Kovacs, and Eric Severine. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Kermit the Frog.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. The friends of Mr. Henson have gathered here tonight to present our little tribute to Jim. We've been conferring and rehearsing, making sure we get it right, so the number will be worthy of him. For the last few months we haven't been together because we all seem to work in different places. So I'm a little apprehensive as to whether we'll all wind up with eggs on our faces. They've each sent a video to give us a clue as to just exactly what they were planning to do. Now, the first video cassette came from the Muppet Show gang in London. Roll the video cassette, Dwight.
Jim is so wise and witty because he likes my jokes.
Wrong, Jim is the hippest dude that I know.
No, Jim lives more dangerously than most other folks.
Oh?
He was my companion, skiing down the Grand Canyon.
You know, Jim doesn't know the meaning of the word fear. He doesn't know the meaning of the word smart either.
Jim is what every valley girl dreams of, for sure.
For sure.
Jim stands for everything that is wholesome and pure.
Jim is the kind of guy who can sing in my key.
Yeah, Jim is whatever you want him to be. That's it from London, Kermit.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Okay, well, let's see who's next. David Laser, our executive producer, and Michael Frith, our head designer, have an update, or rather a mupdate, from the workshop in New York. Roll the next video!
Jim is our favorite model with his bearded face. Jim is a fairly adequate boss. Jim is the kind of guy that's at home out in space.
This is just between us, but he's planning Muppets on Venus.
Okay, well, as you can see, everything is normal. Probably the same in Toronto at Fraggle Rock. Next cassette.
Jim is a super guy from his nose to his tail.
Jim is a super tanker from deck to sail. Jim is a place you exercise athletically. Jim is whatever you want him to be.
Just one question. What is a Jim Henson?
Oh, I wonder how things are coming along on Sesame Street. Let's see Sesame Street.
J is for the first letter in his name.
Jim starts with the letter J. A capital I is the middle letter.
That's not right. Grammatically.
I am the middle letter.
That doesn't sound much better.
Oh, I see.
M is the letter at the end. M as in mother, a boy's best friend.
Make the letters line up, then we'll put the sign up. J-I-M, 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 Jim!
Huh, Jim Henson, he always treated me like trash.
And I think it looks like that takes care of just about everybody.
Everybody? Oh, what about moi and my chopped liver pate?
Listen, I'm sorry, Miss Piggy. It must have been an oversight by an underling.
To err is human, to snub is death.
Well, I tell you what. Let me call Bernie. I'm sure our manager can straighten this whole thing out.
Oh, Bernie, you mean Mr. Brillstein? Well, he is
is probably very busy consummating a very big deal for moi at this very moment.
Consummate, as in soup?
Well, something better be cooking, that's all I gotta say.
Bernie, there's a frog on the phone?
Which frog? Oh, Kermit the Frog. Hey, Kermit, how you doing, my man? So glad you're calling. Nah, never too busy to talk to you. What an event, huh? Coming out of the woodwork for Jim. Just an expression, Kermit. Oh, Kermit, one other thing. Isn't this piggy near you? Just between us, she lost the lead in Fatal Attraction. Don't mention it till after the tribute. Thanks, Kermit. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
What did he say?
He said wrap it up and get to the finale.
Oh.
Hit it, guys!
Jim is so wise and witty, 'cause he likes my jokes. Jim is the hippest dude that I know. Jim, a capital pun, is more dangerous than most other folks. He was my companion, skiing down the Grand Canyon. Jim is what every valley girl dreams of for sure. Jim stands for everything that is wholesome and pure. And is the kind of guy who can sing in my key. Jim is whatever you want her to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Muppet performers, Jerry Nelson, Richard Hunt, Steve Whitmire, Kathy Mullen, Dave Gold, and Kevin Flagg.
Who are all these people?
Well, I think they do things for Henson.
Well, if they do things for Henson, what does he do?
Well, I understand he has his hand in a half a dozen things.
Another one of your old jokes.
Old folks, old jokes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Harry Belafonte.
Thank you. Welcome to the 4th Annual Television Academy Hall of Fame presentation. This evening we honor members of the television industry who have taken this remarkable medium a step beyond the expected. The first of our treasured guests is a master manipulator of mirth and materials. Ever since I was first exposed to the Muppets, I've been asking myself what it is that makes them so endearing and so universally popular. The Muppets reveal our noble side, our innocence, our optimism, our humor, and also, with apologies to Kermit, our warts. If the Muppets are the alter ego of their creator, one must assume that Jim Henson, aside from being a creative genius, is first and foremost a human being, subject to the frailties and frustrations inherent in the breed. The fact that he chose to reveal himself in a funhouse mirror that reflects us all is something young and old must thank him for. And where did this remarkable man get his perspective on life? Jim Henson was born in 1936 in Leland, Mississippi, but he still thinks of Washington, D.C. as his creative home. Encouraged to draw and paint by his grandmother, herself a fine artist, Jim got his first professional television job at age 17, combining his artistic abilities with his newfound skill at puppetry. As a student at the University of Maryland, he met Jane Nebel, who would later become his wife. Together they started a series of 5-minute late-night shows on WRC-TV called Sam and Friends. It proved to be so popular, it ran for 7 years and won a local Emmy, the first of many for Jim.
In a spin, love and spin I'm in, under the old black magic called love.
Sam and Friends marked the television debut of of Jim's alter ego, Kermit the Frog. Many other characters emerge from this program.
Okay, buddy, what do you think of Wilkins coffee?
I never tasted it.
Now, what do you think of Wilkins?
The trip to California put Jim in touch with a high school student who was to become an important part of the Muppet family. Since those days, this friend has become the man beneath the character of Miss Piggy, Ozzie Bear, Cookie Monster, and a host of your favorite Muppet characters, and has now in his own right become a highly respected film director. May I present Frank Oz.
During the course of the tribute to Jim, I'm certain the words creative and genius will be appropriately used to describe his artistry and his ability. But one of the words that comes to my mind when I think of Jim is silly. Of course, I mean silly in the very best sense. You see, I've always felt a special kinship with Jim. Our off-screen personalities bounce off each other, not unlike Bert and Ernie and Kermit and Miss Piggy. And it's been that way from the very beginning. By the time I became a member of the Henson organization in 1963, Jim had already made quite a reputation for himself in television. One of our first collaborations was a character named Ralph the Dog, who appeared on The Jimmy Dean Show. It wasn't long before the Muppets started appearing on other network broadcasts, like The Ed Sullivan Show.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Fair enough!
In 1969, Joan Cooney contacted Jim to be a part of Sesame Street.
They felt so strongly about Jim Henson that they said if we can't get Jim Henson, we will not use puppets at all.
From the start, Jim has played a major role in the success of this innovative series. He made the Muppets a household word with the wonderful characters he developed for Sesame Street, one of which was Big Bird, performed by Carol Spinney. From Sesame Street, the next step was inevitable, the production of a show all his own. Jim had always dreamt of a Muppet series, but all three networks turned him down. It took the vision and daring of a legendary British showman to make that dream a reality.
All we were doing is taking a chance with 24 episodes. I had no idea, and it would be foolish to say that I did, that it would be such an extraordinary, phenomenal success.
It's the Muppet Show with our very special guest star, Miss Juliet Prowse.
The Muppet Show was seen by 235 million viewers in over 100 countries. Soon, world-famous stars were calling to guest on the show, and it won more awards than we'd ever have time to list. For 5 years, we taped The Muppet Show in England, and also worked on Sesame Street, which was being done in New York. During this period, Jim and Lord Grade met again to discuss the possibility of making feature films.
I said, Jim, I hear you want to make a movie of the Muppets. Yes, I do.
And that was the beginning of a brand new chapter, a brand new challenge to the company, which led to even more motion picture projects. Of course, by now, the cable networks were making themselves known to the American viewing public. And this also attracted Jim's attention. Jim Henson was not about to stop there. New concepts began to take shape. Fraggle Rock, the Emmy Award-winning Muppet Baby series, and the recent Emmy-winning Storyteller program, as well as the charming picture book specials hosted by Jim himself.
Now, this tale starts with a phrase, like many other good stories, once upon a time.
My career with Jim also had a once-upon-a-time flavor to it. I want him to know how grateful I am for all of the opportunities he has given me, and I especially want him to know how honored I am to be a part of his imagination. Thank you, Jim. There is another gentleman who was instrumental in Jim's success, and though he couldn't be with us in person tonight, he did want to offer his congratulations. From England, Lord Lou Grade.
Hello, Jim. I send you my congratulations and good wishes for your continued worldwide success. And also extend to you my eternal friendship. I'm going to try to do a little dance just to show that I'm with you in spirit, although not in person.
Thank you, Lord Gray. I wonder if he's one of those 10 lords a leaping. It's been a little over 30 years since Jim Henson began bewitching a faithful following with Sam and friends. That circle of friends is now worldwide. The circle of his own family and friends has also grown and flourished, nurtured by many, many different people, real or created in his fertile mind. For his uncanny ability to touch the heart, the mind, and the funny bone all at the same time, the Television Academy Hall of Fame is pleased to welcome Jim Henson.
It's a wonderful experience, and I feel very humbled to be in such distinguished company here. I'd like to begin by mentioning the fact that the Muppets, the work of the Muppets, and all the work that I do in television is very much a group effort. It's a lot of us that do this. It's these talented people that make it possible for me to do the things that give me the credit for doing a lot of good stuff on television. And I would really like to thank those people over there and the others back in New York and London and so forth. But I'd like to say just a word or two about television, if I may. You know, I made my first puppets because I wanted to work in TV. And at that time, I thought that these electronic pictures were really something very magical. And I still do. I think it's a wonderful medium to work in. And I also think that we've barely begun to tap its potential. Of course, television is already one of the most powerful influences on our culture, but because it is so powerful, there's a great deal of responsibility that goes with that. And I think those of us who make programs, particularly for children, have to be aware of what we're putting out there. And I think this is what is fun for me and why I'm very grateful for this very special honor. So it makes my work, or rather my fun, so gratifying. So thank you all very much.
It's nice to see a man get his just desserts.
Yeah, speaking of desserts, when do we eat?